here comes the drama and the conspiracy theories.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture or innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened, Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay, guys, I did a video earlier today, which, by the way, I will be leaving in the description box of this video here, where I discussed the Damar Hamlin incident. Of course, Damar Hamlin, make sure you guys keep him in your prayers. I'm posting an update here. Obviously, a lot of you guys know what happened on Monday Night Football. He was basically, he got ran over by T. Higgins. He went down, he got up, and of course, he eventually passed right on out. CPR was performed. Looks like he went into cardiac arrest, and of course, you've got all kinds of people theorizing a lot of different things. Don't worry, that video right there will be in the description box where I discussed exactly why it is that I think a lot of different people have a lot of different agendas. Now, I opened this up with Skip and Shannon for a reason, because obviously we're talking about Skip and Shannon, but however, there is another thing that we need to talk about, and I will touch on that here briefly, but I need to touch on exactly what the deal is with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Now, guys, in that video, I laid out why it was that Skip Bayless's tweets, for the most part, were just ill-timed. I did not fully agree with him, especially the timing. I did, however, agree that the NFL should postpone the game or shut it down. Of course, Skip was bringing up, here's the tweet right here. He was asking the question about what are you going to do this late in the season. Of course, he sent out a lot of other tweets, which, of course, did not get mentioned. And by the way, you guys know me. I'm not a Skip Bayless fan at all. I don't care for the guy. He's full of contradictions. He's a bit of an annoying person, actually very annoying, and he's full of contradictions. But I also don't care for Shannon Sharpe either. Now, my issues with Shannon Sharpe are more on cultural topics, but at the same time, though, I'm one of those same people who can look past it for the purposes of sports. But then again, at the same time, it's also a little bit irritating as well. Either way, though, I've always had a lot of respect for Shannon's football takes. I just don't have a lot of respect for his cultural takes. Well, I wouldn't say I don't have a lot of respect for him. I would just say that I just simply disagree with him. However, Shannon, of course, was unusually absent on Skip and Shannon on Tuesday morning. Now, many people have speculated the reasons why. All I have to say is that Skip Bayless sent a lot of tweets out, and he got a lot of heat for his tweets, which, by the way, some of which was deserved. But Shannon Sharpe was unusually quiet. He wasn't exactly tweeting at him or anything. And many people speculate that the real reason why Shannon Sharpe was not in at work on Tuesday is for the most part because, well, he was up in his feelings. And I wouldn't say I agree with that. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't agree with it, because we did have a video out here recently discussing the fact that Undisputed is not exactly doing great in the ratings category. And some people believe that the whole Tom Brady flare-up was maybe in a cheap attempt at ratings. However, regardless of what you may think, Skip Bayless did, of course, come back to work the very next day. He issued out a bunch of apologies, and, of course, obviously he took a lot of heat the other night. I mean, dude got canceled so freaking hard he's now become a LeBron fan all of a sudden. Got this right from the Sports Troll, so you guys will see what I mean.
A skeptic has been turned into a fan. Keep it up, because you can keep it up.
Watched LeBron as closely from year one, dribble one, as anybody out there, I believe. I don't miss a LeBron game. You can ask my wife, Ernestine. I don't miss. Friday nights or date night, I don't miss LeBron. She just got to wait. She waited last Friday, birthday night, for LeBron. He looks better than ever. His body looks sensational to me. It looks so sleek, so svelte. He looks down a few pounds from last year, which...
So, obviously, Skip is taking this kind of hard. Still, though, at the same time, Skip was at least able to show up to work and take the heat, take the actual abuse that was coming to him, especially on social media. You had everybody in the world saying he needed to be canceled for simply pointing out something that a lot of people probably would have wondered about 2 or 3 days later. As I said before, his tweet was not exactly what I call a good tweet at the time. I think it was obviously very, very ill-timed, and obviously it seemed to be like it was a little bit out of touch. But then again, though, if you actually read it over and over again, it seems to me like maybe what he was trying to do was he was trying to thread two different needles at once, and he obviously failed at doing so. I mean, this guy got calls to be canceled from just about everybody, including Des Bryant, who used to actually got in trouble for hitting a woman, but yet you're upset over speech. Either way, though, Shannon Sharpe went on the show today, and of course he decided to give his full reasoning of why it is that he was out of work. Let's go ahead and roll the full context.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture, innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought,
Skip, just let me.
I didn't know you were going to bring up
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanation, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Thoughts and prayers remain with.
Ladies and gentlemen, I let that entire thing run for a reason. I let it run because, quite frankly, we need to talk about this other little thing that has come to light, and of course, it is this topic of professionalism all of a sudden being anti-black. Now, obviously, I set it up like this because we needed to get a point across. Now, Shannon, I'm not saying that Shannon Sharpe basically brought that up for no reason. I'm not saying that he brought up the fact that Skip would need to delete his tweet. I'm not saying that at all, and you guys know me. I typically never defend Skip Bayless because Skip Bayless, quite frankly, doesn't have a whole lot of good takes. However, I got to defend him here. If Skip did not know that Shannon was going to bring that up, then obviously Shannon Sharpe looks a little bit cheap at this moment in time. And as I've said before, many people are speculating that this show right here is not going to last. Many people are speculating that these two, because they're so much like oil and water, that they're eventually going to have a bit of a divorce. They've been working together for over 6 years, so I would think right now that Shannon would probably be used to the stupidity out of Skip, but then again, though, here we are. Shannon Sharpe obviously is upset, obviously in his feelings. I understand some of the reasons why he is up in his feelings. Obviously, his brother being on the stretcher would obviously get to him. But at the same time, though, I also got to call BS on something. You see, most people can't just up and call out of work for no reason. Most people can't just make up an excuse and not show up to work. It's just the way that it is. Most everyday normal people have got to go to work regardless of the circumstances. Hell, I recall getting let go from a job because I went to a family member's funeral. Of course, it was 2 weeks after the funeral, but I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm saying. And I did let them know that something was going on. I did notify them that I needed to be there. I did notify them of that. Some people, just of course in the work world, don't take too kindly to that. It's a such thing called professionalism. I'm pretty sure most people, especially when they were young, they have a tendency to not have professionalism, which, by the way, is something that we're dealing with now. A lot of what's going on today has also got to deal with a complete lack of professionalism. And when people see Shannon Sharpe all of a sudden lay out of work while Skip Bayless goes into work and takes all the heat, takes all the hate, takes all the blame, takes all the abuse, people begin to wonder exactly what the actual deal is with Shannon. It seems to me like it was a little bit unprofessional. Now, guys, I've been seeing a lot of people throw a lot of takes around from Carceno, from Dreams Pro Sports, a lot of people hating on Skip Bayless and saying they support Shannon Sharpe not showing up to work. But seriously, as I said before, you can't just call in and call out of work anytime you damn it want. What type of message are you setting for young people? I know somebody's going to say, oh my God, man, Skip is so bad. Skip said this very, very horrible thing. And, Shannon's got a right. Yeah, Shannon's got a right to be a little bit upset, but that doesn't mean that you call out of work. All right, this here is not the reason why you do that. Most people deal with a whole hell of a lot worse and still show up to work, and they work their time, and of course they get paid a lot less. I mean, if anything, if Shannon Sharpe really and truly felt so butthurt about it, I'd actually have more respect for him if he just up and quit and said, look, out of respect for what the hell is going on, out of respect for what's been going on over the past few weeks, especially when it comes to the topic of Skip Bayless basically dragging him and making fun of him and getting personal about the whole Tom Brady thing from a few weeks ago. I think that it would be a little bit more respectable if Shannon Sharpe just said, hey, look, man, I'm just going to leave my contract. But he didn't do that. He obviously decided not to go to work today, leaving Skip to actually sit out there and take the brunt of just about everything. I mean, it was so bad, Skip basically had to praise LeBron James, which is something that, quite frankly, we're just not used to seeing out of Skip. Now, I've got to wonder, is this type of attitude fueling the whole professionalism is just anti-black? Now, guys, I came across this the other day, and of course, TikTok is a place where people just put whatever opinions they want out there, and sometimes some of these ideas and some of these opinions are just god-awful. Let's go ahead and roll this.
I think professionalism is inherently anti-black because it's literally a culture created by white people to keep black people out from being themselves.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of stuff that's set up when it comes to professionalism is to keep people of color from being themselves.
Not only are they saying that being professional is anti-black, they are obviously now saying that being in shape is some form of white supremacy. Guys, I don't know what the hell to tell you on this right here. This right here is just absolutely baffling and absolutely stupid. So you get to lay out of work because you're up in your feelings, okay? You do something that, quite frankly, nobody else in the world can afford to do. You leave a guy out there who, by the way, did still stand by his original tweet. I at least have to give Skip some form of respect there. You then bring it up out of the middle of nowhere when it's not expected, forcing that man to then be on his heels. I'd have to say that the problem is with you. You guys are teaching these people some very, very bad habits. And let's just go ahead and think about it this way here. If I see Shannon Sharpe do this, then I just may be, especially if I'm a young, impressionable person, I just may see this and all of a sudden I may think that being professional is, guess what? Being anti-black. Meaning that as a black man, which by the way, obviously I am not, I may think that being professional is a very, very bad idea. Now, guys, I'm not saying this about everybody in the whole world that has a different shade of skin than me. Obviously, I have worked with many people of color, and I can already hear somebody screaming the R word in the comment section. I would say that about 90% of the people that you work with are very professional, regardless of their color. I would say 90% of people of color are very professional. I would say that 90% of people that are white are very, very professional. Trust me, I've met some unprofessional people of all types of races, okay? I could just go ahead and say that right now. I have been around several different types of culture, and I have met good people and bad people on each end of the spectrum. Sending these types of messages are only going to give people the negative stereotype of you going forward. If you're saying that professionalism is anti-black, then guess what's going to happen? Young, impressionable minds are going to think that professionalism is, in fact, anti-black, and guess what the hell is going to happen as a result of this? People aren't going to hire you. Not only are people not going to hire you, but people are not going to want to have you employed with them. What if you're working there and all of a sudden out of the middle of nowhere, you just become completely anti-professional? People ain't going to want to keep you around. Then next thing you know, you get fired. You play the race card because you got fired. No, you got fired because your ass was unprofessional and you should have lost your job. So yes, this anti-professionalism message is not exactly what we call a message that is positive. Now, let me go ahead and end the video on this note right here. I said this in the video before, but I'm talking about the video from earlier today. But I don't think I expanded on it well enough, but I want to go ahead and do that now. Not everybody in the world can just say, hey, look, you know, something bad happened. We got to stop. We got to shut the whole thing down. I mean, I understand this live television. In this case right here, I did agree with shutting things down. But the fact of the matter is this right here, not every business, not every industry in the world can do that. Walmart, for example, has actually had truckers die getting into car accidents while at work. They didn't shut down the entire operation for the day. They also didn't shut down the entire operation for Amazon when one of their truckers actually got hurt too. You see, some companies just can't shut down. I understand that, you know, you may feel bad. You may not want to go into work one day. We've all had a sick day. We've all had a day we had to take. But you can't just take a day off every time you're up in your feelings. I mean, dude, I'm a veteran. I mean, come on now. If one of us got killed in combat, we got to pick up and carry on. We can't just stop the fighting and say, hey, look, time out. It's not the way things work, all right? And something else, too, is it takes an extremely unprofessional person to bring up something that was agreed upon not to be brought up earlier in the day, assuming that this right here is true. Yeah, I know Skip Bayless is a jerk. Skip Bayless is not likable. But why the hell would you bring this up and tell him that you hope that he would delete the tweet? You know good and damn well this old codger's not going to do that. Why the hell would you even try? Especially seeing out the fact that you've worked with this guy over 6 years. You know how the hell he is. You know he's set in his damn ways. You know he's not going to change his mind. Why the hell would you do this? Obviously, you did this right here to gain freaking points with the freaking crowd. And obviously, a lot of people who are watching this just got turned off as a result of it. Guys, John Claymore, if you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign up in the comment section. I'll see you guys later.